Hello, everyone. This is Jorge Diaz, president and founder of Larry Jacob Internet Marketing, and another version of how do you define Infusionsoft Success. Today, my guest is Kim Snyder, and she's someone that I've known quite a while, mainly online. We did actually have a phone call and a couple discussions going way back when she was part of the API guys. That's a firm she just recently told me she sold last summer. I didn't know that. And I met her for the first time in person back in Phoenix in November at this year's Infusionsoft Partner Conference. She was given a presentation, and it's interesting because she was talking about something that she's been promoting online. I got the ads. I saw that. I actually even read some of them, but me running too fast didn't get what the solution was. So I went to her conference presentation, and I realized she has a way to completely synchronize Infusionsoft with Facebook so that you can get your ads out there. And that definitely meant I wanted her on our program because it's something that it took me, who's very technical, a while to even get and appreciate. So I wanted to give her a chance to kind of explain that to the world. But before you do that, Kim, just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about how this all came to be.
Sure. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the program, George. I'm thrilled to be here. Yeah. So the company is Sync2CRM. That's the name of our app as well. It is a cloud app. And, one of the things that I'm always looking for is the next big wave to ride. This is my 11th company, and so I think that's something that I do pretty well. And I think Facebook advertising is the next big wave. So one of the things I really believe strongly in is that in the same way that 6-7 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, people would say, do I really need a website? Yeah. And now you've got to have one, or it's just table stakes. It would just be unthinkable for a business not to. People now today are saying, do I really have to advertise on Facebook? And I think very quickly, a year, 2, 3 years from now, it's going to be the very same way. Everybody's going to, or you're going to be dead. And
right.
So that's kind of the genesis of it, and then I can talk to you about the technology, the genesis of the technology if you want. But
sure, no, and I tell you what, that's interesting because I remember about a year, it was probably like last summer, last fall, I was talking to someone, and they were going, yeah, I'm not sure that Facebook, and people were kind of like back and forth, and I want to say it's been in the last 6+ months that I've started overtly getting business from Facebook, from the connections that I have, from the groups that I belong to. And that's something that before a year ago, I didn't see at all. I mean, I saw some of it in LinkedIn, but I'm really seeing this push ahead from LinkedIn very quickly.
Sure. Well, so there's two things, right? There's that aspect, that social interaction aspect that we have on pages and in groups, and that is very, very important. But what most of your viewers, I think, are probably missing is the fact that Facebook is, in fact, the most sophisticated ad agency in the world, and it will work for you very, very cheap. And what I mean by that is, if I can give you some numbers that are staggering to me, 1 billion people are online on Facebook every single day. Facebook, we believe, collects something along the lines of 2,000 data points on each one of us. And so when you, as an advertiser, put an ad out there, there's an audience of a billion people potentially who could see this ad. And what Facebook is brilliant at, and its sole purpose for being, really, because it's how it makes its money, is to figure out, of those 1 billion people, who are the, based on your budget, 100 or 200 or so today, who are going to be thrilled to see your ad, and most likely to act on it in such a way that both the advertiser and the advertisee, if you will, are going to be happy with the experience.
Right.
And that is something.
It's a match.
It's a match. They're the world's biggest matchmaking service, and who wouldn't want an ad agency working for them like that, right? And so that's what makes them so unique and so different, is that they're so good at it, and because the supply is basically infinite, the costs are just ridiculously low compared to what we're all used to with radio and, you know,
Sure.
mass market advertising and that
Sure.
sort of thing.
So
That's what makes it interesting.
right. So here I am, and a lot of the people in in our audience, we're Infusionsoft folks, and we're all used to
Yep.
sending out emails. We've accepted the fact it's a 20% ballpark if you're sending to a list and you're connecting with that list. And one of the ahas I got during your presentation was, oh my gosh, I can send an email and to the same people promote the same message, which that was what really got me thinking about what you're doing.
Yeah, right? Like that's the big, you know, game changer. I hate to use that. It's a cliche sort of term, but it is, because so what Sync to CRM does is it does two things. One, there's a new type of ad called a lead ad. It's like a web form on Facebook. Someone fills it out, you know, and then we grab that data and we put it in Infusionsoft with a tag.
So people know what that is. So as I'm scrolling down the page, I see videos, I see copy, but now I also have the ability to insert a form that people can fill out right on Facebook without having to click away, right?
Right. That's right. And it's the sexy new thing. Instead of clicking that button and having it take you to a website, now you just fill out the form right there. And so as an advertiser, you need to get that data into your CRM system. Sync to CRM does that. So that's one thing we do. But then let's just imagine once you get them in there, or any other contacts that you have.
Before you go, because I just want to make sure we don't miss this. Sure. So I put in Jorge Diaz, my email. It is now inside of Infusionsoft, and it can be used to kick off whatever campaign I'm used to clicking off, starting off other ways, right?
Absolutely. It is simply
it almost
a web
sounds
form.
Trivial, but that's key.
It does. It's really key. I mean, this is huge. In fact, the next call I have was with the product manager of Facebook. This is big. Like for them, this is huge. And so to help Infusionsoft users understand this, it's a web form, right? In the same way that you've always been taught to put web forms all over your website and everywhere else. But how many people are going to see that web form, right? No matter how good you are at SEO and how much traffic you get, how many people are going to see it? Now, someone clicks on that ad, it brings up that form. The form is pre-populated with all of the data.
Because Facebook knows who you are.
Because Facebook knows who you are. And so all you have to do is hit submit, and they've submitted the web form. Now, that data, when we bring it over into Infusionsoft, it is literally with a tag or tags applied to it, is literally no different than someone filling out an Infusionsoft web form, except that it lived on Facebook where 1 billion people can see it, as opposed to on your website where 10 might see it, right, in a day. So that's the idea. And so we bring it over, it has a tag, kicks off the automation. That's called a lead ad. It's a big deal. Okay, but there's another piece to what we do, which is a little deeper and a little harder for people just like you to kind of get their head around. But once they do, it's OMG.
No,
right?
And I tell you what you're going to say now is not complicated. It's just that you don't connect it. It's a simple concept, but so go ahead.
It is. It's not overwhelming. Yeah, exactly. Get your brain around this. Okay. So now the idea is we also go the other direction. You have in your Infusionsoft account some number of contacts who are segmented by tags and saved searches. Facebook has something called...
It's a subset of my contacts in Infusionsoft.
Correct, right? And so you have, hopefully, as someone works their way through your funnel, through your campaigns, you are sending them email messages, and you're probably adding and removing tags as they move through each step of your funnel to note where they are at and to drive the campaign builder as well, right?
Right.
So they're segmented. We know where they are. They're seeing certain messages based on what you need them to do next. Okay. So Facebook has something called custom audiences. And when you hear custom audiences, all you should think is tag. What that means is list. It's the exact equivalent of our list, our tagged list in Infusionsoft or our saved search, all right? Now, and when you create, let's just keep these two things separate for just a moment. When you create an ad campaign in Facebook as opposed to an email campaign in Infusionsoft, in the same way that we use tags to drive them through our email campaign, Facebook is using custom audiences. They're equivalent to decide who does and does not see You are saying who does and does not see your ad based on these criteria. Very similar to the criteria we use in Infusionsoft. If they have this custom audience but not this one, and they live within here, and they've done this within this period of time, and they're interested in that, okay, show them my ad. Okay. So you can create a campaign in Facebook to show people an ad. Now, here's where it gets really cool. What we do is we sync your contacts as lists, right? So based on either a tag or a saved search to a corresponding custom audience or list in Facebook. And sync is the key word. This is what people miss. By sync, this means that it updates constantly. Actually, for us, every 3 hours, it goes and checks. And if someone has been added, has that tag added, it adds them to Facebook, the Facebook list. If someone has had that tag taken away, it takes them out of that Facebook list so that you can now run campaigns simultaneously and in parallel to your Infusionsoft contacts. At the same time that you're emailing them, you are showing them supporting ads that are promoting the same action and message, just in the same way that a traditional advertiser would be showing you ads in a magazine and on TV and on radio in order to create.
So do I have to be friends with those people? No, right?
No.
So all I'm saying is, here's this guy George, and he's got email address this. If he exists in Facebook, I want to target him as part of this custom list.
That's right. And they will show your ad to him. So let's just think about all the things that you might use this for, George. So, the obvious one. So, okay, let me just give you an example. We just rebranded over the weekend SyncSumo. Our app, Sync to CRM. It used to be called SyncSumo. Now it's called Sync to CRM. Now, not everybody got my email telling them that we have changed the name. I need them to know that. This is not necessarily a campaign example, but I want you to understand the concept. So here's what I have. I have everybody who is a subscriber to our app. I have everybody who's on my email list. And then within Facebook, I also know everybody who's visited our website. So I can specifically show ads to all of those people, my subscribers and my email list, for the next however long, reminding them that SyncSumo has changed to Sync to CRM, and here's the URL, so that I'm not burning them out. I'm not burning my list by showing them, by constantly emailing them. So the possibilities are endless.
It's almost like this is taking, retargeting kind of to a different level. I mean, you can even run this in parallel with retargeting and really get out there, right?
Correct. And in fact, it has a name, and it's called CRM retargeting. This idea of using your CRM data to retarget is called CRM retargeting, but it needs a middleman to sync that data between the CRM and the ad platform, and that's what we do.
Right. Now, right now you're doing it with Infusionsoft. Are you targeting other CRMs? Is that the idea?
We are. Yep, we absolutely have plans to come out with some different platforms starting fairly quickly. As well, we've got MailChimp on the immediate horizon in the very near future, as well as some of the others that our audience would find familiar, like ActiveCampaign and some of the others. Yep.
That's actually pretty cool, because I have a lot of customers that either they don't appreciate or they don't really have a need for Infusionsoft, but they do need a place to put all this stuff, and then possibly use that as their platform for jumping into Facebook.
Exactly. So, I mean, the way that we look at the immediate near future is there are probably the low-hanging fruit are the three big email platforms. So, Aweber, MailChimp,
Constant Contact.
GetResponse, and then there's a couple of CRM platforms or competitors to Infusionsoft that are pretty obvious.
Sure.
That we're going to be looking at those too, and then we'll see where we're going to go from there. But we're also going to add in some other things. We think there's an opportunity to really add value in the middle by creating GoToWebinar integration so that someone fills out that lead ad form and immediately signs them up for your webinar, things like that. We also have on the roadmap.
So those are other sync sort of things.
Yeah, just because, so just think about it. I mean, if like one of the most exciting opportunities for me personally, I think with these lead ads is that someone fills those out. I can bring them into my Infusionsoft application kit and then kick off some sort of an automation with plus this or Zapier to sign them up for a webinar or what have you. But we could do that for you and just include it in the app as part of it. So that's
Right, right.
things like that are things that we're looking at doing.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, but so can I just say one other
Yeah,
thing,
yeah, absolutely.
George? So yeah, one of the things that I think people are concerned, well, there's two things I think that concern people about Facebook advertising who haven't really done it. I think one is they don't realize it's the learning curve, and it can be a little bit overwhelming. But as someone who has, undergone that learning curve myself, it really isn't that hard, and there are a tremendous number of resources
Well,
out there to
and
teach
especially when
you.
you compare it to, I mean, Google Ads is much more difficult.
Oh, no kidding. Absolutely. Google, yeah, I'm with you. I don't even want to go to Google Ads, but yeah, Facebook is, and you can learn so the other thing is, and I think this is a concern, like Google ad, pay-per-click, like you can really lose your shirt because they're really expensive, but with Facebook, the other thing is you can set a budget of a couple of dollars a day and $5 a day, and you can test a lot of things and you can get good at it really fast. And, the ability to create 50-cent leads and, $3 webinar registrations. And here's what I know. So the very presentation that you sat in on at PartnerCon, we had two of the Infusionsoft guys who were in that presentation who their job, they're on the team that helps hopefully like stop people from canceling Infusionsoft.
Right, right.
And they said, oh my gosh, we need this so much because one of the most common reasons that people want to cancel their Infusionsoft account is because they don't have leads.
Yeah, yeah,
So
they have all the automation, but the nobody's jumping into those ads.
we have a
Or those
funnel,
campaigns.
but we got to put people on the top, and that's really what this is about. Number one, putting more people on the top at a very reasonable cost who are qualified, and then number two, increasing the profitability of your list because now we're hitting people who aren't opening your emails. We are reinforcing messaging in multiple ways. We're not burning your list out. For all those reasons, your conversions are higher and your costs are lower, and hopefully you have less burnout on your list.
Wow. Well, that's good. So what else? I mean, is there anything else you can tell us about what you have going on? I don't want to get into
Yeah,
your
like
secret
in
sauce
terms
stuff.
of the sync to CRM. Well, yeah, actually there is. So this week we are about to come out with a major release, and so we've for those of you who understand like lean development, the first iteration of Sync to CRM was really what we call minimum viable product. We put it out there. We didn't put all the bells and whistles on it. The first job is to find out, will people buy it?
Sure,
We
sure.
did that. And so, yeah, they did. And so now we're coming back. We've had the user interface, which is, what you guys see in the app, completely professionally redesigned from top to bottom. You're going to see that here very soon. You're going to see, this week, actually, you'll see the ability to add multiple accounts. So, for example, you can have multiple Infusionsoft accounts, multiple Facebook accounts. That's in preparation for other platforms, of course. We've stepped up the speed, so the syncs will happen 10 times faster. We're really building out the architecture with the idea that we should be able to scale up and take massive lists very, very fast. And those are the main things that you're going to see.
You're adding that product polish. I like to call
Yes,
it.
we are. We are. That's a great way to put it. But I guess the message that I really want to make sure that people understand is if this is of interest to you, don't be put off at all, because I think, as you would say, Georgia, you were in the demo, and actually the actual mechanics of doing this are really simple.
No,
I
no,
can
you were
do a
walking
demo
through it,
in
and
like
I was
8
just
minutes,
saying,
right?
Yeah, and I was just going, well, I don't even take notes because she's going to give us a handout, and using it is pretty easy.
Yeah, exactly. So, and if anyone wants help on that, we're happy to help them get it set up and running in their account. And look, if you're not learning Facebook right now, you're missing it. You really are. If you're not learning Facebook advertising, you've just got to do it.
Good. So Kim, let me give you a chance. So if people are interested in learning more about the product, where do they go?
They should go to sync2crm.com, and that is SYNC, the number 2, and then crm.com.
Yeah, and when I publish this, I'll make sure to add that link in there.
That would be great.
So that people can find you. And then, ballparkish, how are you pricing this?
Sure. So the monthly subscriptions, it's based on the number of contacts that you have in your Infusionsoft app. So at 2,000 contacts, it's $39 a month. At 20,000 contacts, it's $97 a month. And we have plans going all the way up from there to 500,000 contacts. And I tell you what we'll do, George. I'd be more than happy to put together a little discount for your viewers if they'd like one. So I'll give you a promo code. You can put it right up here on the screen and give everybody a 20% discount recurring for as long as they stay members. How about that?
Okay. Well, I'll make sure, and if you're okay, we'll talk about that later. But I'll put that up with the blog post and make sure everybody gets to know that. But hey, thank you so much. I know that I interrupted your time on the polo fields, which I just thought was really interesting. I've never had anyone say, "Hey, I may be a little late because I'm on the polo fields." Most people, I'm stuck in traffic.
Right. Yeah. No, I can look out my window and see my practice field right outside my window. So it's a little different hobby than most people.
Great. So thank you so much for your time, and we'll stay in touch.
Thanks for having me, George. I've really enjoyed it.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.